Hey, what's up guys, Benny here and welcome to a brand new Call of Duty Modern Warfare video where I'm going to tell you about all the best things that you need to know that are coming to this year's game. I was very lucky enough to be flown out to the multiplayer reveal to get hands-on with Call of Duty Modern Warfare gameplay early, which had me incredibly excited, and honestly, I feel like this year's game is the best Call of Duty in a while, though just remember, what we got to play was an early Modern Warfare gameplay build, so things can still change. So do go ahead and share what you would most like to see in Modern Warfare multiplayer down in the comments below. One of the biggest things that you'll want to know is that on September 12th, there will be a Modern Warfare multiplayer beta. So you'll be able to get hands-on with the game yourself. This will most likely be similar to previous years that'll let you try out a load of different weapons and features in Modern Warfare, along with a handful of maps and modes. So for me, with my hands-on with the Call of Duty Modern Warfare multiplayer, the thing that I got most excited about was the Gunsmith. In previous years, we'd get a selection of weapons with select attachments, which very quickly everyone would be using the exact same weapons and loadouts across the board. In Call of Duty Modern Warfare this year, that is simply just not going to be the case because there is literally millions of weapon combinations. Most guns in Modern Warfare multiplayer has between 30 to 60 attachments for you to select for different parts of the weapon, from stocks to muzzles to different grips and barrels. There is so much choice with every single attachment changing how the weapon behaves in positive and negative ways. This means that as players, we're going to be able to make weapons suit our playstyles even more. And also means it's going to be a lot tougher to find what the best gun in Modern Warfare is actually going to be. Though it also means there is effectively a lot more weapons in the game, as the M4A1 can turn into an M16 by adding the burst perk to the weapon along with the long barrel, or turn the AK-47 into the AK-74U that was one of everyone's favorite weapons back in Black Ops 1. But this is a feature that really stood out with me from the Modern Warfare multiplayer early hands-on event, and I cannot wait to use it more. The next huge thing that you're going to want to know about the Call of Duty Modern Warfare multiplayer is that the game has been built on a completely new engine, which for me has helped bring the game to the modern era in the way that it looks, sounds, and feels. It's the first thing you're going to notice when you hop in for the very first time, because Infinity Ward actually now have the ability to take advantage of modern hardware, which has a big impact on things like map sizes, player counts, animations, game features, all helping to make this the best Call of Duty Modern Warfare game that it can possibly be. The next biggest thing that you need to know about Modern Warfare multiplayer is the changes that Infinity Ward have made to your in-game HUD. First of all, you'll notice there is no minimap unless you've called in a personal radar, UAV, or advanced UAV, which personally, I'm not the biggest fan of and would like to see it added back into the game as default ahead of the beta, as I feel like it's such an important part of a Call of Duty game in order to be able to work with your team effectively. So I'd love for you to share what you think down in the comments below. Next, you've had the compass added to the top of the HUD, which I think is a nice addition, as it'll help with giving callouts, and it is also now used to identify the direction of where enemy gunfire is coming from. So it's definitely something that you'll want to pay attention to whilst playing Call of Duty Modern Warfare. Then the rest of the HUD you'll be quite familiar to from previous Call of Duties, other than field upgrades on the bottom right of the screen, just underneath your kill streaks, which we'll get onto a little later on in the video. But something that I have to say that quite literally blew me away in Call of Duty Modern Warfare is the sound. It genuinely sounds incredible. Weapons feel and sound meaty, as they should. Explosions will make you jump out of your pants when one goes off next to you when you don't expect it. It's all because it sounds amazing. And what's even better is that the sounds change depending on where you're firing, whether it's in a room or a large open space, or if you're up against a wall. Everything is going to sound differently based on where you're stood and where you are. Sound in Modern Warfare also carries. If you shoot a bullet into the distance, you'll be able to hear that just like you would in real life because they've added speed of sound into the game. It's a small detail that'll help make this such an immersive Call of Duty. It's also made me realize the importance even more of, in multiplayer situations, using a headset to be able to easily hear sound cues like the opening of a door or the sound of enemy footsteps, as without a minimap, taking advantage of the new improved sound in Modern Warfare is going to be crucial to doing well in this game. But all in all, Call of Duty Modern Warfare sounds incredible from my early multiplayer experience. Now, we touched a little bit about the guns in Modern Warfare when we had a look at the Gunsmith, but I think it's one of the most important things in a Call of Duty. But you are spoiled for choice in this game, even without all the changes that you can make in the Gunsmith. The game has what you'd expect: assault rifles, SMGs, shotguns, LMGs, marksman rifles, which I love by the way, and then of course, sniper rifles. Each gun behaving differently and sounding incredible. But one of the most important things with guns in Modern Warfare is to take into account that every single weapon has a different ammo caliber, such as 5.56 or 7.62. Higher caliber weapons will tend to have higher recoil, but have more penetration and damage. Weapons also have ballistics, so there's real bullet drop based off of the weapon and ammo that you're using. There is so much depth to this game and the weapons, and all we've done is scratch the surface, which is why I'm so excited about the multiplayer beta in September to get even more hands-on. It's small things like grenades and explosions being able to be used to blow open doors, which is going to give you so many ways to play and approach certain situations. Another huge thing that you're going to need to know about Call of Duty Modern Warfare is the maps. The game features 3 different types of maps to help fit all the different modes that we're going to be able to experience. For 2v2, you have what they call flash maps, which would be used as training missions for soldiers in real life, which we got to play in Gunfight. You then have the maps that we'll all be used to as Call of Duty fans, which are 6v6 and are known as tactical maps, which you would traditionally expect to see during Special Force missions. And then finally, you have those large player count maps, which are for 10v10 and 20v20, which also include vehicles, which I know a lot of fans of other games like Battlefield will be very excited about. They've been able to make these bigger battle maps for the first time thanks to the new Call of Duty engine, which they've built for Modern Warfare, so it'll be interesting to see what modes we'll get to see when the game comes out. We got to play 5 flag domination, which got a bit chaotic at times, but I think that was also slightly down to not having a mini-map. But this game is going to give us the biggest variety of maps we've ever had in a Call of Duty. And they're not all going to be 3 lanes, which is what we've got used to, but have a few more free-flowing maps, just like you would expect in a real-world situation. But one of the most exciting things that I found about the maps is that we were told they've spent a lot of time making the maps more traversal in the way you move around, with you maybe having boxes to climb for a different entrance to a building, rather than just running up some stairs. And they've also put hidden puzzles and hidden map areas just like they had on High Rise back in Modern Warfare 2, which I'm going to try my best to find as many as I possibly can as soon as I get my hands on the game, because it's a pretty cool thing to have in it. Modern Warfare also brings with it a brand new game feature that Infinity Ward are calling mounting. What this does is, because guns in the game now will have a bit more kick and recoil to them, as you'd expect in real life because of those different caliber ammo types that weapons have, you now have the ability to mount your gun, which I know a lot of people are going to say, wait, that's just leaning. Why is it called mounting and not just lean? And that's because you can mount most objects and walls in the game, which will heavily reduce your recoil and help you get a lot more control of your gun. Mounting is also something you're 100% going to want to be taking advantage of in Modern Warfare multiplayer if you want to rack up a large amount of kills, because I found myself being able to hold down areas so well from enemies that were pushing me when I had my gun mounted, compared to when I was just running and gunning with assault rifles like I'd done in previous Call of Duties in the past. So make sure to take advantage of that new mounting feature. Now, Now, I touched on this a little bit earlier on in the video when I was talking about maps in Modern Warfare, but one of the biggest additions to this year's Call of Duty is the new 10v10 and 20v20 game modes. We've never had anything like this in a Call of Duty multiplayer before. We've had Blackout as a battle royale in Black Ops 4, but in traditional multiplayer, we've never had large-scale maps and modes other than Ground War, which didn't have specific maps designed for it. Now, as a long-term Call of Duty fan, this is really exciting for me, as in the past, if you wanted large-scale combat on console, you would always play Battlefield, but with Call of Duty adding 20v20 along with vehicles, it's going to now give us more choice on what to play and also help make both games push each other to be better. Now, don't get me wrong, with the Modern Warfare 20v20, I personally feel like there could still be some gameplay tuning adjustments for the mode from my hands-on, as a lot of people are using care packages and getting a lot of powerful kill streaks very early on in a match, so it'd be nice to see care packages contain more powerful streaks a lot less often in 20v20, and I would also love to see the minimap added back into the game. But talking of care packages, Killstreaks have returned to Call of Duty Modern Warfare. For quite a while now, we've had score streaks, which sort of remove that satisfaction and nerves you'd get from getting a high kill streak in Call of Duty, and there are some awesome ones in this year's game. The game has the ones that you would expect, of course, like the UAV, care package, and precision airstrike, but we've also seen the return of some old favorites like the chopper gunner for 10 kills, and then the AC-130 with the gunship for 12 kills. There's also similar streaks to the Harrier Strike and Pavlo from Modern Warfare 2, with the VTOL jet and the support helo, which, especially in the larger game modes, are going to rack you up a lot of kills. And the current highest streak in the game is the Juggernaut, which gives you a giant minigun to shoot. Oh, yeah, and how could I forget, as you probably noticed from the end of that trailer, the nuke is back. Sadly, it wasn't available in the build we got to play at the early reveal because we snuck on and tried to play a custom game and it didn't pop up, but I cannot wait to get my first one when the game comes out in October. Another really exciting thing about Call of Duty Modern Warfare is the fact that the game has crossplay. If you've got a friend that plays on a different console or platform to you, you're going to be able to play with them in Modern Warfare, which is amazing. We got to try it out at the event and it worked perfectly. So there's no chance of you being left out if, like me, a lot of your friends play on something different. And we also found out that in this year's game, there is not going to be a season pass. So there's not going to be anything blocking you from playing with your friends or the rest of the community, which I feel is what everyone has been asking for. So it's an amazing addition to Call of Duty Modern Warfare. Another new feature that you'll also want to know about in Call of Duty Modern Warfare is field upgrades. These are something that are unlocked at different speeds throughout a match and will give you something to use in game to give you and your team some sort of advantage. You have things from an ammo box to restock your team's ammo and equipment to stopping power rounds, which will give you a clip of ammo that'll deal more damage. These are going to be things you can use at a certain time that could change the outcome of a certain situation, which I feel is going to be amazing for competitive. But there we have it, 10 things that you need to know about Call of Duty Modern Warfare. I'm personally really excited about the game and have a whole load of content coming your way around the game, including some secrets that I managed to find during my early hands-on. So you'll want to make sure that you're subscribed so you don't miss that. And with Infinity Ward really focusing on the fact that gameplay is king and they want Modern Warfare to also be authentic and gritty, we're going to have one of the best Call of Duties in years. Make sure to let me know what you think of the game down in the comments below and smash that thumbs up button, and I'll see you guys next time.